Hey, welcome back into the podcast. So today we're talking about the housing market here in Reno, Nevada, and Sparks, basically northern Nevada. And what we're going to go over are the numbers from our market from January. Also, we're going to cover at the end about a 5-minute segment on if you're a buyer in this market. It's a very tight market. We're going to give you the top 5 tips for 2024 on how to get prepared and make sure that you're the most competitive person out there when it comes to your turn to buy in this market. So welcome back into the podcast. My name is Ken Angst, team leader of the Angst Real Estate Team. The goal of our channel is very simple. We're here to buy, sell, invest, and live in the Reno Sparks area. Today we have Brian Cushing in with American Financial Network. Brian?
Yeah, thanks, Ken.
He's a lender that we use quite a bit. What's going on in the lending world?
It's exciting. It's exciting because interest rates keep changing, but also exciting with different ways to approach loans than the just traditional I need your tax returns. So a lot of good stuff happening, but no relief in the interest rates quite yet.
Yeah, interest rates are all over, mostly up a little bit this week, correct?
Yeah.
So it's affordability is becoming an issue, as you'll see in these numbers. But let's hop in. Let's talk about the median home price. So the median home price for the Reno Sparks area is $535 last year. So since last year, it's up a modest 5%, which is a nice number. It's not overheated, but it's right where it probably should be that we need to sustain this market long term. And it's down about 5.5% from January. So that's the median home price, $535. What about closed sales?
245 closed sales in January. That's down from December, 11% down. So December was a busier month, which is shocking. Cold, but the 245 sales and 3.8% higher year over year.
So that's kind of a shocking number to me. I thought it'd be down, but under 250. That's the so of all the Reno Sparks area, there's only 245 sales in January.
That was the shocking thing to me.
A lot of people, a lot of agents out there, a lot of lenders, a lot of title companies are kind of fighting for these listings. So, talking about median days the contract. So, simply put, is you get an offer, or you put a house on the offer, or you put a house on the market, and you get an offer in about 35 days right now, which is kind of nice. I'm telling you from the perspective of a buyer, it's kind of nice to talk about a house over the weekend and be able to go back and negotiate a little bit with the seller instead of flying off the market like it was.
So at least be able to sleep on it.
So that's down 40% from last year at this time, and down 21% from January. So we're gonna skip list price receive. Median home price sold. This is a number that's lower than it has been in a while. Tell us a little bit about it, Brian.
Yeah, I remember it being in the $300 per square foot, and now it's $292, which is down 3.5% from last year. 20% higher. I'm sorry, 0.5% higher from December. Not a huge move there, but just interesting to see it coming down a little bit. I mean, it's price per square foot, so is that just smaller houses selling?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. Like we've always talked about on this channel, median home prices kind of, if you're in an area that's selling houses between 400 to 600, it gives you an idea if you just kind of stick your thumb in the air to put it at 300. But now it's down. 290 looks like the number to be using. So it is down. So that's a good thing, and it has a lot to do with maybe people are buying houses, in different areas where the price per square foot's less. That could be an explanation for it.
So that'll be the next video.
Yeah, we should I'll look into that and get back to you guys. But 292. So if you're out there looking at houses and you just want to in the 4 to 6 range, you can put a price in there about 290, 295. It will get you in the range to see if you're overpaying for the house.
Yeah.
So good stick right there. So new listings. So 317 new listings in January, up 20% from the previous January, and up 56% from December. So kind of makes sense to me that would be up in January, because a lot of times during the holidays you get 2 or 3 months there where not much is going on, and then all of a sudden we come into January, people are starting looking around.
So hopefully that means more sales next time.
Yes, more sales. Hopefully they're not overpriced. So what about active inventory?
572 homes, active inventory. That was basically which can you go look at. That does not include pending, right? So it's basically like that's what's available
Active, yep.
To go out and, take a look at. One house goes off the market, another house comes on the market. 527 is 14.4% down from last year, so a lot less, and way down from December. 28%, 27.8% lower December to January in active inventory. So go list some more homes.
Yeah, we need inventory. So that let's kind of quickly talk about that. We have a lot of people waiting until the spring to list their home. The inventory is so low right now. If you have the ability to get your house on the market, do it correctly. Now's a great time to sell your house. The inventory is so tight, and we are seeing houses that are nicely done, good quality, flying off the market. So, and if they're priced right, that's the bottom line.
I think that's the key. And if you're looking to buy another house afterwards, the sooner, if you can get your house, with less competition on the market, likely get yourself in the contract, put you in the position when the more inventory comes in the spring, you'll be in ready to go to make offers and
right. If you move up, yep.
Cut your contingencies down.
All right, so month's supply of inventory. You
basically.
basically take the total houses available, which is 527 minus the closed ones, and divide by how many were, or minus the new inventory. Divide by that, and it comes up with 2.2 months of inventory.
Which is down 30% from last month.
2023 down 30% and down 3.6% from December. So tight market. That's what we're kind of going out there. So if you're a buyer, so that leads us right into our next part of this video, which is we're talking about the top 5 ways to make yourself the most competitive in 2024 if you're a buyer. So you ready?
Let's do it.
We talk about this a lot. Number one, no surprise here, is build your team. So don't just think that you need a realtor. You need probably a realtor to start and a good lender. Those kind of go hand in hand. But a lot of people forget about you need an insurance person, because you have to get insurance once you get into contract, because the lender's not going to let you have a house without insurance. Home inspector, a lot of the people who go into this that you don't really think about, and that's the number one reason why you should use a team like the Inks team or Brian. We have all the contacts that would make the transaction easier on you, because we know the industry and we work with a lot of great people, and we only work with the best. So, any comment on that?
Sounds like you're saying be prepared. Right?
Yeah, be prepared.
Get your group together, make sure everybody's talking. Like if your lender knows you're pre-approved for a higher amount than you initially asked for, making sure that if a nicer house comes on the market that you could qualify for, your agent should know about that so they can bring it to your attention.
The other two we forgot, got to have an accountant, because a lot of people are getting their tax returns right now. So, and Brian's always going to be asking questions about tax returns. And if you're like a filer that does quarterly tax filings, you got to have your accountant ready to answer questions, because he's going to need that for underwriting. And then we always recommend people look into trust and protect their assets. So an attorney is another person you need. So we have all those people available. If you're watching this video and you don't necessarily need a buy or sell a house right now, but want one of a list of the people we recommend, we would be gladly to hand those over to you and let you use those people, because we want them to have business, and that's how we're so successful.
Well, that way you're prepared. You'll be more prepared to buy a house too.
Yep.
Especially if you need to have a trust. Or if you want to have a trust, having the trust done before you go buy a house, you can place the home right into the trust, because the documents
instead of wasting all the time transferring and paying more fees. So that's a good point. Number 2, Brian, is know the contract.
Oh, I love reading the contracts, but no one else seems to do it.
Yeah, so the number one mistake you can make is start looking at houses without reviewing the real estate contract with your realtor.
What's the number one way to get somebody to read the contract?
What is it?
Submit an offer.
Yeah. Well,
You got to start somewhere, right? So the first offer you make, you may or may not get it accepted, but that is a great opportunity to go line by line. If you haven't already done it with your real estate agent, I would encourage. I think pretty sure Ken goes through it well ahead of time.
yeah, you need to go. The first thing we do, talk to our clients, figure out what they need, make sure they talk to a lender. But then one of the first things, duties owed. But right after that, we're talking about the contract. Because you got to know the ins and outs. You sign over a check for several thousands of dollars. You better know what the time frames are, understand them, and make sure you're not defaulting. Obviously, you have a good realtor, they're not going to allow that, but we see problems all the time. People not understanding the contract. So make sure you know the contract before you submit an offer, because what happens is you go 2 months, look at a lot of houses, and all of a sudden, I want to put an offer in, and then you're stuck going over that line by line for a couple hours. I mean, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours for the first time. It's 10 pages. There's a lot of information. So
A lot of ins and outs.
yeah, or watch all these videos that we do, and we talk about all the different parts of the contract. So know the contract before you submit an offer. That just puts you in a better spot. And our philosophy is the more information you know, the better you can be informed and the better decisions you make.
Fair enough.
One of the things that we see in this tough market is there's not a lot of inventory and they go quick. Good houses go quickly. So if it's a nice house, most times right now, I know the average house is 35 days until it gets an offer. You know, what we're seeing is house in the 4 to 6 range goes quick. They go quickly because they're most affordable. So based on interest rates, submitting backup offers is a great way that we've had a lot of success getting our clients. We closed one last month. So if you want to know more about that, we have a podcast about it, but call us, find out more about how to submit a backup offer. There's very little risk and a lot of sales. I'm seeing, based on my knowledge and what I'm looking at, 25 to 30% of all the offers right now fall out of escrow because money's expensive and buyers are very particular. So if they start finding issues on the home inspection, they're more likely to bounce now because they don't have the extra money or cash to fix things. You know, when interest rates are at 3, nobody cared because money was cheap. But as interest rates have creeped up to 7, buyers are very particular about home inspections. And if you're first in line, sellers don't want to go back on the market. And if there's someone right there to step in, get a good deal, and still get it when the house is, it's a great way to do it.
Especially if there's not a lot of active inventory like we just saw, right? If you have a house that's really ideal and you submit a backup offer, worst case scenario, they call you, right? Best case scenario, you continue to shop for homes.
You can still shop for homes, and then if you find something, you can obviously write and get out of that contract. So review that. I might do a whole podcast and just go through that.
That would be a good one.
Because it's a very simple way to get in, first in line to get a house, and it's a winning strategy right now. So the other thing that we're seeing a lot, number 4 on the top 5, is investigate expired withdrawn listings. So a lot of houses, sometimes sellers have a higher price, or for various reasons it falls out of escrow and they're just sitting there. Have your agent go through the MLS, or you can take a look too. I think on some Realtor Zillow, there's a little filter. Take a look at the houses that have gone off the market. Because more times than not, you still have a person on the other side that wants to sell, but there might be a reason that they haven't. Or, for various reasons.
Might have been price, or it might have been the house that they were trying to buy fell out of escrow, and if you connected with them and you could help them,
do a long escrow,
achieve their contingency release, right, to go make a better offer.
So we're just giving you ideas on how to beat this market, because there is not a lot of inventory.
Got to get scrappy in this market.
Number 5, top 5 is don't wait till the spring to buy.
Buy when it's cold.
So oftentimes when the winter time, there's several things that goes on, is you find people who need to sell. So these people that typically aren't waiting until there's some reason that they're putting it on the market now. So they're not necessarily more desperate, but they're probably more willing to work with you on price and maybe get improvements done than you are going to get once you go into the springtime. The other thing is not as many buyers out there right now. Once the spring comes and you have green grass, it's go time. And every house is going to have probably 5 to 10 more buyers looking around. So you're kind of giving yourself an opportunity to get first in line. You may have 1 or 2 buyers per house instead of 10, like we're probably going to expect here as we come into the springtime. Anything on that?
Yeah, nothing super specific. It's just the sooner you can be ready, right? Like if there's a house that's not available right now that you're not seeing what you want, then obviously it's going to be hard to buy when there's low inventory. But every year it happens. Spring picks up and the interest level picks up. listings will pick up a little bit, but buyer interest picks up a lot. So definitely get ahead of the competition.
Yeah, and that's if you need a house, and we're having a lot of success right now with a lot of clients we've been working with a long time. You know who you are. They're winning right now because they're buying in a time where there's less competition. And obviously there's not as many houses, but you can still filter through as long as you're diligent on checking out houses that come on the market, putting in good, strong offers, putting on backup offers. You can win in this market. So don't think you can't, and that's how we win.
It's happening every day.
All right, anything else?
No, appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Brian. So everyone, enjoy the rest of the month. We're almost through February, back into March. So we're coming into the springtime here in about 45 days.
Yeah, so hurry up.
So one message for sellers out there. So you're watching this, I gotta fit one thing in. Do not wait to get your stuff done around your house. Please, all our vendors are looking for work right now. We have spring-like weather. It's been a mild winter. They are wanting to work. If you wait until April, you're gonna be out 3 or 4 months, and it's time to get your house in order. Do what it takes to make your house tip-top, and then you're gonna get top dollar. That's very simple. So.
Awesome.
All right, guys. You guys take care. Like our videos. Send us to a friend. Subscribe. We'd appreciate it. And call us in the office if you have any questions. 775-525-0309. Otherwise, you guys enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.